Thor!
Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Johnny B. Crazy, and you have entered the House of the Conqueror. Let's talk about the Ragnarok Season 1 finale. Yes, we love this country. Everything this season has built up to this moment. The final battle is nigh on hand. The Seeress Prophecy. Ancient mythological tale about the creation of the world, its demise, and rebirth. The seeress Volvin speaks to both gods and men to tell them how the world will end if they continue their evil, immoral deeds. The title, Yes We Love This Country, is the first sentence in the Norwegian national anthem. As we have seen throughout this series, climate change and pollution are at the center of the problem. The toxic waste dump that is polluting the town is the metaphorical Jormungandr, digging its fangs into the earth and releasing its venom upon the world. Thor will finally kill the Midgard serpent, as he has wanted to do for so long. Thor smashes the great serpent's brains in with his hammer. Even as it dies, the serpent will empty its venom sacs over the thunder god in a thick black spray. Thor grunts in pain and then falls lifeless to the earth, poisoned by the creature he slew. Can Magna stop it this episode? Let's find out. Magna has gotten the police chief and Eric to come back with him to the toxic dump, only to find Vidar waiting for them. Of course that bastard moved it. Magna shows his hand, possibly too soon at this point. I don't know how long it took for Magna to go get the police chief, but Vidar works very fast. This was some Chris Angel mind freak shit. Vidar tells him in Old Norse, "You will regret this. Understand?" I mean, maybe I do. Maybe I understand just a little bit. Magna has now been kicked out of school for the rest of the year by Ron. She is feigning real concern here. Good actor, this one. She even has a signed letter from Eric saying that Magna is a danger to himself and others. What the f***, Eric? Gree is understandably upset. Magna, still in the friend zone,
Please, Kaci.
only gets a hug, of course. Meanwhile, back at Jotunheim, Vidar is trying to legally cover his ass. Vidar starts to question Fjord sharply about the missing photograph from the album. These Utils love to slap the shit out of everyone. Fjord broke a huge rule. Don't have close contact with humans. Vidar is worried about the downfall of his entire family, and Gree must answer for what she's done. I can somewhat understand Vidar's position here. How about you? Turid is trying to force a psychiatrist on Magna, and she even suggests they leave Edda. Lortz gets all sassy and tells her that maybe she should focus on being a good mother instead. Poisoning the well as usual, huh, Loki? Turid is now purchasing every sweet in the grocery store. Winch gives her a cryptic message about how help is soon to arrive. Turid says she doesn't understand a crazy-ass word that comes out of her mouth. We need to keep an eye on Turid. She may go into a self-induced diabetic coma if she eats all that candy. When Magna gets home, his brother informs him that their mom is spiraling downhill again. Just like when their father died, I'm assuming. He proceeds to have a dream, or better yet, a nightmare. After he wakes up, he just barely saves his mom from a coma. Fjord is watching Gree like a competent stalker. He sees how much her father is struggling, pulling at his giant heartstrings. Meanwhile, back at school, Gree aces her project, but can't hold back the truth, and tells them that she was being sarcastic the whole time. She failed her exam, and upon leaving the class, tells Saksa and the kids that Isolde was right. Ron is trying to get to Gree through her mom. Lortz calls her out on her behavior, however, but agrees Magna is off his proverbial rocker. Our boy Loki asked to give the student speech this year, setting up a little Loki shape-shifting later in the episode. Lortz channels his inner blonde just dying to come to the surface. Ron is reusing a speech that Saxa gave the town in 1974 for Constitution Day. The Giants are getting lazy at this point. 2,500 steel barrels are to be put in the next shipment, per Vidar's orders. Fjör happens to overhear this. Gree's mom comes in and drinks the tap water. We know that is not a good idea. Fjör shows up and tries to give her father compensation for his loss. Fjör gives him what insurance would have paid had they held up their end of the bargain. Gree's dad rejects this proposition, however, to Fjör's astonishment. He is trying at least. They take off together down to the docks for some conversation. Perfect in a strange way is how she describes his family and him. She pulls out the picture she took and gives it back to Fjör. She still doesn't suspect he's immortal though. Teach me to be a good person, Gree. Fjör is breaking with every giant tradition ever known. It's time for Magna's psych evaluation. The therapist tells Turid that her son is a paranoid schizophrenic, giving him strong-ass meds to make him passive and less warlike. Poor young man. I really feel for Magna here. And apparently so does Fjör. He tells Magna he was right, that he isn't crazy. There are 2,500 barrels leaving Edda tonight. Turid, of course, hears none of this and tries to make her son take his medicine. Now that Magna has assurance he isn't crazy, he refuses to take his meds. Fjör gets back home and tries to sneak the picture back. Daddy and crew are not happy. Fjör, the giant betrayer. To prove his loyalty, Vidar demands and orders Fjör to kill Gree. It's Constitution Day. Time for Loretz, aka Loki, to shine. Iman again gives Magna words of encouragement. I have another candidate for who Iman may be, and this one seems more solid based off what she's been saying to Magna, offering help to change Edda with him. She may be the Hindu goddess Kali. Kali is a powerful goddess associated with creation and destruction, perhaps most importantly as a destroyer of evil forces. She is a protector of the divine and is all about liberation. Let's keep an eye on that, and let me know who you think she is in the comments. Magna notices something is up with Fjör, and just for confidence, Saxa says she will kill Gree if Fjör doesn't. Magna left a little present for the police and sets Vidar up. It's time for damage control as an investigation on Util Industries begins. Vidar is at his wit's end. It's about to boil over. Fjör takes Gree away from the celebrations. Magna, suspicious, follows them. Once Saxa gets done singing, Ron Util is announced for a speech. In traditional Loki fashion, Loretz has dressed up as Ron and gives a hilarious speech. Loki shifted his shape, and now he was, in voice and appearance, a beautiful young serving woman. Mocking everything, especially the Utils, Loki is always playing both sides. I do not think we have overlooked a single thing, troublemaker of the gods. We go back and forth from the speech to the abandoned building where Gree is. Fjör shows his true nature once he gets her alone. Just look at those doughy eyes. Thor grabs a trusty hammer and proceeds to intervene. He beats the hell out of Fjör. And almost kills him until Gree stops him. Now it's Daddy's turn.
Geysar eini við aldnara, hárhiti við himinn sjálfan.
An epic battle between a god and a giant begins. It's not looking good for our hero. Vidar wipes the floor with Magna. As he beats him, he says how he must have been mistaken. He can't be Thor, arch enemy of the gods. He's far too weak. A storm is brewing on the horizon as the powerful giant demolishes our hero. Vidar admits to killing Isolde. In a fit of agony, pain, and revenge, Magna summons all of his strengths, calling upon the storm clouds for power, evoking a lightning strike that will render both parties inert. There was a flash of lightning from the clear skies, followed by the dull boom of thunder as the hammer left Thor's hand. The mountain giant saw the hammer getting rapidly bigger as it came hurtling toward him, and then he saw nothing else, not ever again. Winch looks on with a certain satisfaction as the rain begins to come down on the fallen. Odin flies through and Winch says that Ragnarok isn't the end. It's where it all begins. And we fade to black as Magna clenches his fist in defiance of death. This show is fantastic and it gives me chills every damn time I see it. I just love this show. Vidar speaking the Old Norse was incredible, to be honest. The guttural, deep tone almost really sells the fact that he is a giant of myth and legend. What did you think about this episode? Definitely tell me your predictions for season 2. And it's due to come out early next year, but may be postponed due to COVID-19, of course. Let's keep an eye on that. Don't forget to leave your favorite Norse myths below and any other questions you may have. I hope you enjoyed your stay here at my house, and I want to thank you all for watching, and a very special thank you to all my patrons. If you want access to more content and to support my crazy, check out my Patreon. Subscribe, make sure to hit that notifications bell to see more like this, and I will see you on the next visit to the House of the Conqueror.